Hey everybody. So in my story today I put in a throwback of when I was 18 and I went to India for 5 months. And so I thought I'd give you guys some context, a story time context of how, why I went to India, what I did there, my experience, etc, etc. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys, I had an amazing time in India. It was a life-changing trip. Yeah, 5 months. It was amazing. The big question, why? Why did I go to India for 5 months? There's a lot of context, a whole load of context. So the first things first, child manager from Bangladesh. And so I used to bang out the films essentially. I'll be there eating my biryani, my lamb biryani in the evenings, watching all my Bollywood films. So I was really obsessed, really in love with Bollywood culture. Growing up, in terms of the music, the dances, the clothes, the food, etc. And then as I got more into like spirituality and like doing RE in school and stuff, I really loved their religion as well. I loved Hinduism, Buddhism, Indo-Asian religion and philosophy. I think it's so beautiful. Why did I go? The reason why I went is when I was 16, I got into a situation with someone who was a lot older than me. It was a quite abusive, exploitative relationship situation that took a massive toll on my health, my education, all the kind of things. So as my 18th birthday is approaching, I think it was maybe around May times, I just knew that I had to get out of the situation that I was in. That's why I left. I went to India because I wanted to get away from my situation. I really needed a trip that was gonna like reground me, recenter me, like heal me. I needed to get away. Essentially, I needed to get away and heal. How I got to India? How did I get there? Why did I mean, what was the vehicle? So again, some previous context. So when I was younger, I experienced several incidents of child sexual abuse, one of which led to a court case when I was 13, and the court essentially awarded me 7k in compensation money, which was released to me when I turned 18, and so I used that money to then book my trip, essentially. Because I didn't necessarily have the grades to go to university. I was looking at alternative options as well. Alternative options that I could do like a gap year abroad, gap year volunteering. And yeah, that was me, guys. That was me. I waited until my birthday came. The money was released to me. Booked everything I needed to book. I think my dad might have booked it. Anyways, basically I booked what I needed to book. And I was gone. I was gone like the wind. I was out of here. Was I scared? No. I was excited. I was looking forward to getting away. I was looking forward to the challenge. I've always been raised with a sense of adventure, a sense of curiosity. And so I liked the idea of going away. I liked the idea of freedom. I liked the idea of adventure. I liked the idea of just starting again. I loved it. My dad, bless him, he cried at the airport. He was like, bye, Elsie. And I was like, bye, daddy. What did I actually do in India? What did I do? So what I did in India, so like I said, the first 6 weeks I was volunteering, studying traditional medicine and volunteering in a local health clinic. And so I did 2 weeks, I think, 2 weeks of traditional medicine, like a course. So that was like me learning like traditional Ayurvedic massages, the Ayurvedic principles. I was spending time with like the herbalists, learning how to make oils, learning how to make different things, like learning about the different plants, going on nature walks. It was so good. It was so good. It was so good. And then after those 2 weeks of introductory like learning, I then spent the next 4 weeks volunteering in a local health clinic. Yeah, I loved it. Like going every day to the local Gurukul. So Gurukul. That was like the name of a traditional medicine man, and I used to go there every day on a little motorbike with my host. Used to go there and drive there, and I'd spend like the day with them every day. Just applying treatments, doing treatments. I loved that experience. I loved volunteering with the medicine man. He used to spend days and days and days and days, hours and hours every day at like 8 a.m. getting up to treat people, often for free till like 8 p.m, 9 p.m. in terms of like who I was staying with, so I was staying with a family. It was such a beautiful house. It was like, oh, how can I describe it? So I was staying in Kerala. So Kerala is like a really, it's part of like South India, and it's a really like green, luscious, beautiful like plot of land. I just remember like just driving through these really like dense, really dark green, foresty looking like roads. I was driving on the back of a motorbike to this house, like in the woods, not in the woods, in the forest, whatever you want to call it. And there just been this really beautiful like house that was just surrounded by greenery. I was staying with a family. It was a mother, a husband, and two children. And myself and another girl that was volunteering was staying there. This other girl that I was staying with, Hattie, my babes, Hattie and Phoebe, my babes. They were staying there. Phoebe was also doing the traditional medicine course with me, and Hattie was doing a children's orphanage course. Yeah, it was just an amazing trip. I'm so grateful for it. Like, it genuinely changed my life. So I was there for the first 6 weeks, volunteering, doing that kind of stuff. And then after that period came to an end, I then wanted to study dance. Like I said, I had already been dancing since I was 14 years old, and so I love performing arts. I love it so much. But the actual people that run the programs, Ranji Baba, sadly passed away recently because of cancer, and he passed away 2 years ago. Ranji, he was like, imagine like the Godfathers. Imagine the Godfathers, but in India. Like, he was such an eccentric, amazing, wonderful man. Like, he knew so much about like the plants, like spiritual. He's like one of those like 70s like spiritual guys. He was like, yeah, dude. Like, when everyone was driving the car, he used to do this. He used to do like this. Like, if there were cars, he used to believe that he would like stop traffic and stuff like that and like make things happen. And I used to believe him. I was so impressionable when I'm an impressionable person. But back then, child, I was impressionable. So I used to be like, wow, so cool. But he was like the Godfather. So upstairs from his apartment, so we used to go there like maybe like every weekend, or like maybe in the afternoons, we'd go to their house, Ranji's house, along with his wife Katia. And then upstairs is where we'd like have our classes and stuff. And so upstairs in the evenings and the nights and stuff, all that the local boys would come to Ranji's house, and they would just like play music, they'd like drink, they'd talk, they'd like philosophize. Like, it was like being in the Big Brother house, but not Big Brother house, but like the Big Brother's house. Like, it was so fun, it was so lovely. So one of the guys I met there, Anish Baba, who's been my angel, who was my angel on that trip. Anish Baba followed me all the way to my school. He took me to my school, to Kerala Kalamandalam, and I stayed there for a month. I stayed in an apartment with my friend, what's her name again? She's gonna, don't cuss me, She's gonna cuss me if she sees this. Oh my gosh. I spent a month with you. Wow, I don't even see your page anymore. Rain. Your Instagram name is Rain. Rainy-eyed. Rain-eyed. Irina! I spent a month living with Irina. We had our own apartment. The apartment was £50 a month. And oh my gosh, it was just so... Oh God, man. We used to walk to... I used to get... a tuk-tuk, because I don't like, why am I walking for 20 minutes? I really used to walk to school. I had to get a tuk-tuk to school, to dance school. And I was there with my teacher, Ambili, learning Bharatanatyam. I'm doing it wrong, but I miss India so much. Yeah, okay, cool. Guys, my storytelling is all over the place. I'm sorry. I've never narrated this story before properly. So I stayed there for a month, learning Bharatanatyam. I really want to study Bharatanatyam as well, which is like a more softer, like more elegant style of dance. I studied Carnatic singing, because again, man loves the arts, you get me? Like, so I wanted to sing and that, singing and that. What else did I do there? That was it. It was living high life. We used to go out to the local restaurant and eat, chopping rice, oh God, I love India so much, man. Like, if I speak about the food and the culture around food, like, because I was raised in someone's house for the first month that I was there, like, just having like fresh curries and like rice and breads, like, I put on so much weight, God, but like just being fed like 3 times a day, like really fed, like, wow, it was so good. And like when I was even like going to my medicine man's house, if you're full, you better dash your plate on the floor, because as soon as you finish like your food, they're gonna bring you more food, and it's like, no, just eat, and it's like, I'm full. So you have to dash your plate, like you have to actually like bang it on the floor. Yeah, okay, don't do that. Don't bang your plate on the floor, but you have to like cover your plate like this, otherwise they'll just continue to bring food for you. This was 10 years ago. Only things have changed, but boy, back then they used to feed me good. But yeah, me and Irina used to go and eat. We used to go to the shops. We used to go on like little day trips around places. Living the high life. My favourite thing about living with Irina was our roof. We just used to go out there sometimes. It's such a funny story. Oh my God. We used to go outside on the roof and look at the stars and stuff. And there was one night I was like so like enamoured and in love with life that I slept on the roof. Because you can, like, I don't even know how to describe it. It's like the sky was like littered, absolutely covered in stars, and you could just see shooting stars. Like, I think that was the first time I'd ever seen shooting stars in my life. Like, it was so just enrapturing. It was incredible. It was amazing. I remember I slept on the roof, and the next morning the whole village had come to our house because someone had saw that there was someone sleeping on the roof, and they thought it was a homeless person. So literally like 6 in the whole village was outside our house, because they'd come to like protect me and Irina from whichever homeless person was sleeping on the roof. When they came upstairs, they found out it was me sleeping on the roof. And yes, that was my trip with, that was my experience at the school. I then went back to Ranji and Katya's house in Kannur. And again, Ranji and Kannur, so Ranji, Katya, and Ishta, they're also well connected. That we should just go on trips, places. I really spent a lot of time with them. They're probably bored of me and tired of me, but I was so happy to be staying at their house. Like, I love staying with my host family, but I got to stay at the cool kids' house. So wow, I had a fantastic time. We used to go up to Joey's house. So Joey's house is where you saw me like making food, like going to the waterfalls. We used to go on like excursions, stuff like that. I just had a fantastic time. Like, I was really ready to buy a house there. I spent time doing the Vipassana course. Vipassana course is a Buddhist is it Buddhist? Yeah, it is Buddhist. Vipassana is like a Buddhist practice where you spend 10 days in silence. I spent 10 days on that retreat in silence, meditating from like, I don't know, like 7 a.m. They used to come up early, like maybe like, was it 4 a.m? It wasn't 4 a.m. No, maybe like 5 a.m. or 6 a.m. Was it 6 a.m? or was it 7 a.m? I think it's 7 a.m. 7 a.m. they wake us up, and we'll be meditating from 7 a.m. to like 9 a.m. 9 a.m. we have breakfast till like maybe like 10 a.m. 10 or 11 a.m. 11 a.m. till like 1 or 2 we're meditating. Then from 2 to 4 we have like lunch. Then from 4 to maybe like 6 we have meditating. Then from 6 to 7 maybe I think we have dinner. And then from like 7/8 till 9 we're meditating, and then we have like a course. I highly recommend it. Vipassana, again, another amazing experience, changed my life. I loved it. Did that for 10 days, then went back again to Ranji and Katya's house. Then I went to Sadhguru. Sadhguru is like a famous teacher. And I went to his ashram. I forgot where his ashram was. I think it was in Chennai as well, I'm guessing. But the ashram, again, was like the most beautiful place that I've ever seen. And his ashram is like this really beautiful space where they had like temples, they had yoga classes. And I was doing a course called, what was it called? It was in engineering. Oh God, what a time. In an engineering course. And with that course, we learned like different techniques to like regulate your brain, to regulate your body. We did yoga. We learned the physical one. We also learned like how to connect with our body and stuff via breathing. And so yeah, it's a really good course. They did have like a big golden calf in the middle of the ashram, and obviously my Christian brain was like, what? But I think after coming, so I think before India, guys, this has gone on a tangent. I'm so sorry. Prior to India, I was having a lot of questions around my faith. I was interested in spirituality as a whole. I really wanted, I think around 14 is when I got into kind of like the Illuminati. The government want to kill us. Jesus was black. What else can I was really into like my conspiracy theories, and I think with that came a lot of like religious searching. So again, it's like, how can the white man be the one to give us Christianity and then also be the ones to enslave us? You know what I mean? So I was really researching different religions, just kind of like get an understanding of what I thought was the truth, or just to get an understanding of what is the truth and what does the truth look like from different perspectives. And so I was researching Islam, I was researching Hinduism, I was researching traditional religions, traditional spirituality practices, just to get an idea really of what everyone's saying and what the different handles are. And I think India is such a diverse space in terms of the religion. Kerala, where I was staying, there was a lot of Christians and a lot of like Catholic denominations there. But there was obviously like a lot of like Hindus there. It's just a really like multi-faith, and there's a lot of like so many different like spiritual groups and this and that, and so many like smaller gods and lesser gods and village gods, and there's so many like, obviously there's bear gods in India. And I think India is where I chose to return back to Christ. That was mainly or highly down to Ranji. Ranji was a Christian, was raised a Christian, but he had such a strong understanding of the different religions, like how Ranji would describe like how Christ came into the world and how the world had to shift in order for Christ to come, and just all these things, like whether or not they were true. I think Ranji made he made spirituality come alive for me, and he made it feel okay for me to find spirituality within Christianity. I'm someone that I'm deeply interested, invested in spiritualism and spirituality. That's why I love going to white garment churches. I love how spiritual we are as a people. So that's what I loved. I loved how Ranji brought alive the spirituality. He brought alive like the Song of the Mountains. Like my favourite psalm is, I'm really going on a tangent here. My favourite psalm is Psalm 19. The heavens declare the glory of the Lord, and the firmament shows his handiwork. Day after day pours forth speech, and night after night reveals knowledge. Like that for me, it speaks about how the earth speaks about God's glory. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's nice to say it, but when you are in a place, in a country that really lives it, I loved it. I loved how spiritual everything was in India. Like everything, do you know what I mean, came with blessings, or everything came with like a certain level of intention, a certain level of joy. And I'm deeply in love with India as a country, deeply in love with it. I love how romantic they are with their faith, and how romantic they are with the world they live in, and how they interact with each other. Like, it's so beautiful. And I think, yeah, Ranji allowed me to find that level of like connection, intimacy with Christ and with God and with Christianity. So much so that when I came home, I kind of refound myself within it as a religion. And so, yeah, I didn't go much into the north. I kind of stayed very much quite in the south of India. I do want to go back to India, and I do want to try and like travel north. I've got so many stories from India. I could do story times for like so many things. If you want more story times, guys, let me know. This story time was a bit crazy, it's a bit all over the place, but that was my trip to India. That's what happened. That's the context. That's what I learned. That's what I experienced when I came back. I was doing this a lot. I'm such a sponge. I was doing this a lot. I was saying to people, "Hello, my sister of the North Star. Hello, my queen. Haha, yes. Elsie. Who am I? Who is Elsie? Elsie is a child of the light, of the star, of the joy, peace, wisdom, grace. Hallelujah. I came back, obviously having learned meditation, having learned massage, having learned a few like healing practices. Yeah, that trip changed my life. But do you know what it taught me? Do you know what it really taught me? The trip really taught me that you can't run away from your problems. That's what that trip really taught me. You can't run away from your problems. They will meet you where you are, and you will have to sit with them at some point. Going on a holiday, running away. I think time away helped my situation. It helped me because it created space for my situation. But until you actually go to therapy, actually sit down and deal with your problems, they're just going to follow you wherever you go. That's what India taught me. You can't run from your problems, so you might as well run towards them. And running towards your problems looks like doing the work, looks like doing the healing. It looks like reflecting, journaling. Yeah, tips and advice for anyone else. Solo travel. Don't let anyone put you in a box. Solo travel. If you want to go somewhere, go. If you have the money for it, if you have the resource for it, go. There's a whole world out there, and it looks so different to the world that you live in. Things that you can't even imagine. When I walked into that ashram and I saw the big golden calf, I said, blood clot. I said, wow. I said, wow. So the Bible wasn't lying. Someone actually made a big golden calf. Jesus Christ. That's what I said. I said, wow. There's things that you can't imagine. The mountains. I remember God, there was one story. This is my final story. My final tangent, guys. I'm so sorry. I remember we were driving up through the mountains, driving through the mountains. And we got to like a peak of the mountain. And I remember we got out of the car. There's like a cliff point. And I remember like looking over the expanse. Obviously, this is India. So there's no like barriers and that. It's just cliff edge and me. Like this. And it's like, again, I'm such a deeply emotional person. And I love Pocahontas. And there's a scene in Pocahontas where she does this. And for the life of me, it's like seeing the widest expanse of like valleys and mountains and like all the way back until like you don't even know if it's ocean or if it's sky or if it's the heavens. Like, so beautiful. I remember just standing at the expanse, the wind is like in me, around me, and I wanted to jump so bad. I actually started crying because I was like, I want to jump so bad, not because I want to die, but because I want to fly. God. That's when I knew that this physical body is this is not permanent. This physical body is not permanent. God, when I'm released from this physical body, then I'm gonna fly. God, I'm gonna fly. Oh my gosh. Anyways, I wanted to jump so bad. Like, I had to sit down. I had to sit down on the floor because I was like, brother, there's something in my spirit that wants to connect with this beauty. Like, I just wanted to be in it. I wanted to feel it. I wanted to feel the wind. I wanted to feel the air. I wanted to feel it on my face. But I said to myself, Elsie, if you jump, you're gonna die. Your bones are gonna smash into smithereens on the rocks. Like, hold yourself, baby girl. Hold yourself. I had to sit down on the floor. I cried because I wanted to jump off the cliff. That's so mad. With that, guys, that's the end of my tangent, my long story on India. Thank you so much. It's been great. Hope you enjoyed the story time. Peace out.